Welcome to VidyaMitra Talk, a podcast where we bring real conversations with people who have built meaningful careers, business, and impact. This series is designed to help students, working professionals, and aspiring entrepreneurs to gain clarity, confidence, and more important, direction from real life, which is beyond the textbook and theories. Today, we have got one of the finest personality on the space of leadership. He is a global leadership coach, a mentor, a author with 15 years of experience in Switzerland, Singapore, and in India. This famous personality empowers tomorrow's leaders with expertise in leadership dynamics and organizational growth. More important, he is a top 10 finalist for the Impactful Speaker Award 2026. And the punchline of the speaker is leading the change. Ladies and gentlemen, let me wholeheartedly welcome Mr. Dev, which we often call as Coach Dev. Thank you, first of all, for accepting our request and being online.
Thank you so much. I mean, the beauty is, when we got connected and we got exchanged very quickly what our backgrounds are and how we are, changing the landscape. It was truly inspiring to hear your mission and the way you are taking this forward. It's truly amazing. So for me, it's a blessing. Thank you for having me in this show, and let's get started.
Cool. Superb. I have seen your profile. I have seen some of your works. It's all outstanding. Everybody follows a unique philosophy because leadership training is all about trying to understand the other person better, and there are no hard rules. It's contextual. It's more about behavioral analysis and all. So one direct question to Dev to start off: what was that motivation for Dev to get into this space?
Wow, that's a deep question. So when I look at today's humanity and we look at different outcomes, like where we drive as a humans, and as you introduced me, I grew up entirely abroad. And we have this mindset of, particularly in India, that abroad or the West is doing much better, or everything there shines and everything there is great. I'm not denying that, but there's also another side of the coin, right? Coin has two sides. And when you look at the other side of the coin, they also have problems. They also have challenges which they want to go ahead. And it's probably not the best scenario where we as Indians, we just look only at the West, or we look only at the outside country and we say we are not there yet, or we aren't good, or we haven't found the way to scale at that level. For that, what is it lacking? And I was really keep on wondering, right? And you might find hundreds of reasons why we aren't there yet. But my question is truly, with what do you measure what? In a country where we have one of the richest culture, we have thousands of years of history, we have such a unique and versatile country with so much diversity, but still we manage to be united and included, and we change the world. It's essential that we understand how we can impact this entire globe. And for that, it's very essential that as a human, we understand leadership isn't just something you are born with. I don't believe a leader is born. I believe in a leader is made. And the making of a leader is a daily thing which has to happen with the right support, with the right society, with the right business culture, and everything which you want to put add on. And that's what made me shift to think, of course, the business has to run. Of course, the society has to run. Of course, the family has to run. Of course, everything has to run, but it starts within you. And if it starts within you, what is the leadership traits, or what are your actions you are taking on to change, first of all, yourself and then impact others? So that was engaging me since childhood, engaging me since different cultures, different languages, and different versatility of businesses or industries. And it always goes back to the leadership. It always goes back to the leadership. And that made me like, I need to sit there, I need to be there. And I need to, first of all, learn myself how, how I can embrace such situations, and how I can grow up, and how I can impact and generate the next level of leaders. And that made me probably to move there. So it hasn't been a day one decision, like a childhood dream, I let me become a leadership coach. But definitely the transition from, let's say, spiritual exercises, business exercises, and, sports exercises, or everything which made me up, like it's about humans, it's about the connection, it's about the next level of growth. And that kind of pulled me and pushed me towards this route.
Wow. I mean, it's a 360-degree approach where you're talking about spirituality, then mental well being, as well as the physical. I
Yep.
appreciate this beautiful thought. So I think that's something which is standing out, Coach Dev versus rest of the others.
True. See, I truly believe if there are more than 8 billion people in this world, we all have 8 billion reasons to stand out.
Right.
So I truly believe that I stand out, but I so do you do stand out, and all the viewers and everyone who is in this world do stand out. The only question is, are we aligned and are we accepting it?
Lovely.
In a world where everything feels like, run by me or done by others, you don't know where to follow. And I think it's highly time that we show the world that we stand for what we stand for. What do I stand for myself? Do I stand for the society? Do I stand for my values? Do I stand for my business? What do I stand for? And if you don't stand out, then you just got eaten. Then you just
Right.
get average. Then you just get into the loop of a victim who complains, who doesn't know what is next, and just shrugs and says, "This is how the world works." And you don't take power into your hand. So for me, standing out is not like, wow, you achieve something. Standing out is the bitter minimum you have to do.
Right. Right. It's like an oxygen. It's essential.
Like an oxygen, you don't have any options. You have to become excellent. So in Tamil, which
Mhm.
is my mother tongue,
Right.
I used to speak with my friends or my participants home. There's only two options. ஒண்ணுல கலக்கணும் இல்லைன்னா கலக்கும்.
Oh,
You have only two options. கலக்கணும் இல்லைன்னா கலக்கும், வயிறு கலக்கும். So you have to be on an excellence path where you say, I am the one who is going to stand out. I'm going to create an impact and I'm going to the next level. With that mindset, you are literally growing.
wow. I truly appreciate that thought process. Idla, see, what we are seeing, with all due respects to any titles, people
Mm.
often, especially in the roles, இந்த டைட்டில் மேல ரொம்ப பாசம் வச்சுக்கிறா. See, I am the chief executive officer, I am the director, எனக்கு ரெஸ்பெக்ட் கொடுக்கணும். I mean, somewhere டைட்டில் adds responsibility சொல்லுவோம், ஆனா டைட்டில் adds authority வருது. So according to Dev's experience, international as well as Indian, என்னதான் உங்களோட இந்த டாப் 3 challenges which you see from that leadership space?
Great question. This reminds me of we call a chief executive officer, right? Which is
Right,
CEO.
right.
And I have seen sometimes in organization, which is chief everything officer.
Okay.
And that's a bottleneck situation problem. I think many people do have. Now, is it a problem of the organization? Perhaps. Is it a problem of a culture? Perhaps. Is it a problem of strategy? Perhaps. But it's definitely also a problem of the CEO who thinks I am the everything officer and I'm not the executive officer. So when we look at labels, when we look at designations, when we look at positions and people, it starts from any level and it ends at any level. We have to be very clear what is our goal and what is our outline as of this role. But let me ask you this question. In a cricket game, right,
Mm,
where India is all about cricket.
right.
In a cricket game, you can only play 10 players, if I'm not wrong. I'm new to cricket, like 10 players.
11, yeah.
So what happens to the bench players? Tell me, what do you do with the bench players? They warm up, they wait for their turn,
Practice.
uh, they practice, they are with the coach, they know who is going to be now the bowler, who is now going to be batting, they know everything. But when it's their turn, they lit up, right? And when you look at sports, even though you are on a bench, you know the entire vision and the goal of the entire organization.
Wow.
And I think that's the most powerful North Star or vision you have to give your organization, be it a 1 lakh organization or 1,000 crore company. If you have a mission and vision of your company, which is not just a statement hanging on the walls or on the website, digital should be aligned with the entire organization, which easily you can reflect it with sports, right? It doesn't
Correct.
mean the player right now playing is the highest impactful person. It can be anything on that moment. So I truly think the first challenge when you want to meet the top three is the label apart. You should understand the entire mission and vision or the purpose of why, why am I doing this? Am I just cleaning up and mopping the floor, or I'm making something clean so that the workers don't need to worry about the dirt and can focus on their work? So
Wow.
lots of why or different. Am I just ad creator who knows what the client wants and change the color, or am I a creator designer who also understand the psychology of the client and influences or directs the client for higher conversion or higher revenue or a higher profit of this ad which I'm doing? And every role, right? Every role which you look at in an organization needs to understand I'm not anymore classically the person who I'm just assigned for. I
Mm.
need to be a little bit edging more. I need to be a little bit more connected with what is the primary goal of the vision, right? And the why often also connects also with the purpose.
Mm.
And I think for every businesses, we have to go back that essentially the basic fundamental purpose of every business is to create and maintain a customer.
Right.
That's it. That's it. You do $1 million business or a startup, create and keep a customer. So in that case, how can I create and keep a customer? And that goes to all the roles which you have in a business context, right? If
Mm.
I'm a working employee and I say, okay, that's business context, I don't really know about the strategy and the vision and the sales and the marketing. Okay, fine. But in your role, how can you ensure that whatever you contribute makes the customer happy?
Uh-huh.
Whatever you do will be something unique. Whatever you do will be not eaten by the next competitor, right? Whatever is standing out, and we are coming back to the standing out point.
Mm.
Even for the students, I love to have conversations to students, and I always tell them, they always tell, yeah, I'm very scared of the future because lots of disruption, lots of changes are happening. And I tell them, wow, you have a lot of opportunities now
Opportunity.
to create a better world, to look at things which have been done wrong, or to look at solutions which no one thought of, right? So you can design that. So when you remain like with that fear and you just go for a job, you will landing on just executing. And there I can probably guarantee you that your job isn't secured for the next 5 years. But when you look at the opportunities and look at how can I pivot, how can I create a betterment where I use my human skills and not artificial skills, it creates the impact. So for that, a transformation, a growth path has to be created. So to answer your question, it's not only the role or the label, it's actually depending on how much of a difference maker you are
Mm.
and how much of an edge you really want it as a person, right? Am I just going to get my salary? Am I just there to take the business to the next level? Or do I fulfill it and connect it with the purpose of this organization or of my personal mission, which is connected with the work I do?
Ah, super, super. See, one thing which I loved in your statements is connect with the customer and maintain the customer. I think that's a baseline for whether it is Ambani, Adani, or beyond it, versus a small kirana shop where I'm ensuring that 10 idli pona porumpa இன்னைக்கு
Mm,
சமாதானம். ஸோ ஏன்னா 10 இட்லி போனோம்னா கஸ்டமர் ஷுட் கம். ஸோ ரீட்டைனிங் அ கஸ்டமர் இஸ் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். இது ஐ அப்ரிஷியேட் வித் யுவர் இம்மென்ஸ் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் அண்ட் நாலேஜ் யூஆர் டெல்லிங். ஆனால் நிறைய பேர் ஆர் எதர் trapped, or let me more polishly put it as ஷார்ட்கட்ஸ்க்கு நிறைய பேர் போயிடுறா. ஸோ இது பண்ணினா அது கிடைக்கும். ஸோ இஃப் ஐ டூ திஸ் மாடல் ஃபனல் மார்க்கெட்டிங் பண்ணினா ஐ வில் பி ஏபிள் டு என்ஜாய் லாட் ஆஃப் திங்ஸ். இதெல்லாம் இல்லாமல் எசென்ஷியல் இந்த ஸ்கில்ஸை டெவலப் பண்ணுறதுக்கு வாட் கேன் பி, யூஆர் டெல்லிங் அபவுட் அ லார்ஜ் ஃப்ரேம்வொர்க் ஆஃப் பர்பஸ் அண்ட் பேஷன். ஆனால் ஐ டோன்ட் நோ வாட் இஸ் இட் இன் மை ஆர்டினரி லெவல். அப்போ நான் எங்கேருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம் ஆஸ் அ பிகினர்? But I have ambitions and I route தெரியல. So according to a transformational coach like you, என்ன இருக்கும் your baby steps advice?
Your baby steps. I think for the baby steps, it truly sets you on the stage of what you want to become. I think setting the goal and setting an understanding of, this is the goal which I want to achieve. Now, people might say, I don't have a goal.
Right.
Well, that's fine. If you don't have a goal, what is actually at least your next 1 week goal or 1 month goal or 1 year goal? Let's not go into 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, because I think we had a generation, let's say 2 generations before, a job was like a lifetime job,
Exactly.
or at least you could say, I'm not going to move out of this industry. I'm
Right.
going to be a painter, which means I'm going to be this entire generation. I'm going to be in the painting industry. And I think this is now literally transforming, which you can today be a singer, and in 2 years, you can be a founder. And in 5 years, you can be again running a startups. And in 20 years, you can be in the food industry creating a great food product. So you are going to shift your career tremendously during the span of this generation already. So when you look at this transformation and shifts, I wonder, when you look at yourself and you say, I don't have a goal, is okay, you don't have a goal for 10 years, 15 years, but at least let's start for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, something like that.
Right.
And when you want to achieve that, it starts with the baby steps, or you can also call it micro habits.
Micro habits.
What is preventing you from doing that? What is the something which you have been telling and ignoring, or what is something you are denying to do it or accept it, right? It goes on the level of, let's say, I want to lose 10 kgs. Let's
Right.
look at the gym exercise, right? If you want to lose 10 kgs, you can go to the gym. You can do for even 45 minutes, 1 hour gym. But I think the better question is, what do I cook in the kitchen? And where do I eat? And once you start to understand where do I eat, it becomes a habit of tracking it.
Okay.
Tracking makes sense in terms of how much rice did I had, how much chapati did I have, how much of fast food did I had, how much did I drink? All these micro habits starts. Then you start to yourself, okay, how much calories am I burning, right? How much running am I doing? How much gym exercise am I doing? So when you go through that details, let's take that gym weight loss exercise. It's an entire plan which only comes to your mind if you really want to achieve that goal.
Wow.
If you don't really want it, you will subscribe to the gym. You will go perhaps 1 or 2 weeks, and thereafter, nothing. You will have excuses. I am tired. I have lots of work. I have
Mm.
friends. I am sick. When I started, there was not so much of work. All these things, right? So when you look at achievers, when they want to achieve something, they don't have excuses.
Right.
They know it. They don't have excuses. They will just simply say, if I can't make it 6:30, I will go 4:30 in the morning. That's it. If
Wow.
you want it, you will do it. And I think my suggestion to create these micro habits is create evidence. Create evidence. We humans' brain work the best when we have evidence. In the dark, if you suddenly say, hey, there is gold there, I won't believe you because I don't see anything. But if
Right.
I see the light and I see gold, I will walk towards it, right? Or whatever that passion is it.
Correct.
So when you want to create evidence, you have to start with micro habits. If you're, for example, not good in speaking, you should at least start to speak in front of the mirror, record it, and watch it.
Right.
Then you have an evidence of you seeing yourself and saying, wow, okay, I am able to articulate, I'm able to speak, but maybe my words are not good. Let me take next level. So while you create evidence, your brain says you are not only saying, you are doing it.
Wow.
And if you're doing it, then your evidence will say you can be better, because that's a lifelong learning habit, right? When you do something, you will say, next time I will do it even better. And with that better, so saying and doing and saying and doing, your mind will be programmed. When he says or when she says, she will do it. And
Wow.
that's one of the biggest misconception of our mind is, that the power of our mind is there, but the power of our mind saying, yeah, ignore it, is
Right.
also there.
Right.
So I keep on insisting, and there is a punchline in Tamil. நான் சொல்றதுதான் செய்வேன், செய்றதுதான் சொல்வேன்.
Aha. Correct.
And when you look at this punchline from that movie, it's an amazing, because when you do what you say and when you say what you do, your confidence level as a leader will raise up. That implicates and that pushes you to say also no. If I don't do that, and I know I won't do that, then I should say no. Who
Right.
is limiting it from me, right? If I say, no, no, tomorrow I will be definitely there at 10 o'clock, and I know already I will not make it, say no. But if you say it, do it.
Correct.
And if you program it yourself in your brain and your mind knows, he will do it. Your
Lovely.
entire body, your entire articulation, your entire confidence, everything will shape it up. And to get that, you need to create evidence. You need to prove yourself. I can do it. If I say 10 o'clock, I will be functional on the meeting. I will be there 9:45. I will be there 9:55. I have to prove it to myself. Once your inner system starts to believe in you, the world is the smallest problem to start to believe in you.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. I think universe is all internal சொல்ற மாதிரி இருக்கு. Very beautiful because it's all within me, and the moment I can just figure it out, I think that's the best medicine, and it is sustainable too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Ipo, you have taken leadership coaching and training across different platforms, different generations, or different genre. Basically, international. I'm sure there will be a different thought process. Even though ideology la ரொம்ப இருக்காட்டாலும், according to Coach Dev, என்ன challenges was something. Oh man, this is not a easy cup, or this is not a easy nut to crack. அப்படி ஏதாவது initial challenges probably during your journey, and if you could share some insights on that?
Sure. I think the first biggest challenge, I didn't have to go outside. It was starting with me.
Oh,
to be to be very vulnerable and to be very open, I myself, when I transitioned into this coaching role, my confidence level over or let's say my knowledge of, I know so much because, I have been in universities. I finished my master's. I worked in Switzerland for 15 years. I have a little bit of a global experience. But when I came to coaching, and I started to also, with the lots of knowledge and content, books, and all the formats you have right now, to gather that you want to coach. Coaching is actually not overloading information. Coaching is more being a guide and highlighting them, transforming knowledge is not actually coaching. Inspiring and transforming them to the next level is coaching. So it
wow.
shouldn't be a content download. It shouldn't be, I have so much content to share, download this content. No, I have so much possibilities to see you in the next level. Let's travel together. Me
Wow.
behind, you in front, pushing you. So when I was in the beginning stage of coaching, my first coaching started in Switzerland when I was an agile coach, and that was in a safe environment in the organization which I worked for. And in an organization where you work for, the culture is set, the people you know for many years, and okay, if I don't say like this, or if I do a mistake, I will still get paid, I will still have a good position, and I'm still liked by the employees, etc., etc. And then the transition to Singapore came. I started to do my master's, and so thanks to God's grace, someone discovered and said, you should become a coach, do that more often. Let's do some business and strategy and branding and leadership and all these things. I started to coach, and there were situations where we were running like the Masters of Arts in Management. So students age 18 to 65, anything,
Oh,
18 years old up to 65, entrepreneurs, big association people. So when we look at these people with the youngsters, or even with those whom I felt like touchable, I had a
mhm.
great time. You could
Mm.
see my swing, you could see the actions and the moderations and the delivery of content. Paka. We had a couple of instances. The first one I can't forget it. It was a very reputed bank in Singapore, and we had to go and deliver something over there. And we are talking about executive directors when we are
Oh,
talking about strategy. So that's the first hit I got when I went there, and there were a couple of co-facilitators with me, thankfully, and we had this session, and there were some questions directed, but I kind of didn't know that my impact or my role wasn't as much as it could be. So one of the co-facilitator trainer came to me and said, Dave, all okay? And I said, yes, yes, of course, I'm good. You guys are doing, and this is on content, and we are on time, and we are doing the homework. So I had all the reason to justify my comfort zone. Then he said, yeah, but Dave, things, these are points which you have covered, and I think you're missing out something. And I said, no, I mean, we're doing right. And then I wasn't sure what was missing. And so in the evening, when we finished off the session, my colleague again came and they have wonderful session. We did great. Tomorrow we will do it better, right? So tomorrow here again, I'm coming the second day. We have the slides, we have the presentation, it's coming on. The facilitators are jumping in, but my gear is remaining in a car language, gear one, maximum gear two. Allow me three, four, five. So at the end of day two, my colleague came to me, let's have a word. And then we had a casual conversation. And then he shared with me, which is something called psychologically imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is something when you think or you believe that the surrounding people you have are smarter, are better, have achieved more, and they're bigger and stronger, whatever reason. And for that reason, you shrink yourself. You still provide value, you still have all the knowledge, but you don't come out. You don't do as gloriful you would do otherwise. And I said, wow, okay, this makes sense, but why am I doing that? So I had to go through deep reflections of me. And I started to realize, okay, you know what? You worked in a company where you were in your comfort zone. You were absolutely beloved. You had your ways of doing it. Now you're in a new country. That doesn't make a change. You are facilitating with content which you know. That also doesn't make change. But you're surrounded by people whom you don't know. That also doesn't make change. I am good with strangers. I am not bad with strangers. So you go through reflections. You analyze yourself. You go deeper and deeper and deeper until I found out, okay, probably because of the position or the age or the respect I have, I downsize. So I had to work through that. And believe me, to do that, lots of spiritual exercises actually helped me. It was not the academic book or anything corporate. Lots of spiritual exercises where I realized you and me, we are base humans. We have the same probably liter of amount of blood and bones and everything else. And God has designed in such a way the universe that every has to become equal. So let me not take that position or that role into my head. Let me be the coach who can inspire and guide them, or at least assist them in the way they want to be. So this couple of exercise and rounds over the time gave me the confidence to which I could then say, you know what, bring me anyone I'm able to handle. Because that's the reprogramming I had to do and to say, I have nothing to lose. I have nothing to, be afraid of. You are absolutely a smart, whatever person you are, a VIP, celebrity, board director, whatever you are, all the respects and all the due diligence to you. But I am also a star at my own, someone who exists in this universe. So let's have a conversation. Let's try to understand each other. I'm not pitching or selling you anything. And let's guide and grow together and we will see how it goes. So this transformation, the biggest challenge for me was inside me. Once that was unlocked, I think the sky was the limit for me, which I am traveling right now. And I started to connect with so many people in so different ways. And so it's much easier to manifest. So it's much easier to attract people. So I had lots of trainings with VIP celebrities in Singapore, which they felt like, okay, what's up for this guy? And some local Singaporeans, they had much more context with that VIP celebrities, and I didn't have because I was new to the country. But I felt like, okay, no, let's sit, let's talk. They are humans too. They have their challenges. They have their growth aspirations. They want to achieve the next level. So it was a good ongoing. So the same thing in India, we admire, we look at VIP celebrities or politicians or whatever they are, and they're truly great in their role and whatever they want. But we shouldn't forget they are humans as well. They have a part of themselves. They are admiring, they are growing, they are breaking the unbreakable, and they are doing it. But they also need something which pushes them to the next level. And for those, you have to understand, I'm not someone lower than them. I'm someone who I am who I am. It doesn't mean I'm bigger than them. I never say that. I am who I am. It doesn't mean any ranking or any positioning needs to happen. You take them or such. And I truly would say that to students or the youngsters that, if you have a die-hard fan of sportsmen or celebrities or anything, do that, but create your own legacy as well. Don't put them in your room and pray to them and you remain stuck. You
Right.
put them in your room and reach that level. If you want to if you put a star or a sportsman or a politician or whoever it is in your room as a photo, do know that you can reach that as well, or even more, by applying your great leadership skills and applying your way of how do I become better. Don't be a victim or don't be just a fan by saying, I can't ever become that. And look at this person, so simple. He's even wearing such a simple dress, of course. So many, so many, funny things I see when youngsters see big personalities, and that's nothing wrong. You can see them, meet them, but they are humans too,
True.
and they have achieved something tremendous, but so can you, and you have to create that point.
Wow, that was my next doubt, but you actually nailed it. Still, two or three advices exclusively for Gen Zs.
Yeah. uh, to be honest with you, I don't believe in the term Gen Z as much as it is labeled. Generations are there, and those generation are not only impacted or created by the generations, it's also
Correct.
created by the parents, it's created by the society, it's created by the schools, it's created by the friends, everything. So you can still see, as we talk about, the biggest population in the world, which is India, and the biggest youngsters population in the
Mm.
world in India. You can't label just a segment of people and call them Gen Z. There are
Right.
still tribal rural villages where they are absolutely not, like digital navy, or they only think about,
Right. Right.
ChatGPT or
Right.
all
Right.
things. And it doesn't make them lower or less smart. So I truly believe in a generation of, evolutions. We had an evolution of industries, we had an
Right.
evolution of media, we had an evolution of technology, we have an evolution of a lots of things happening. And I see this evolution right now is all about health.
Wow.
Uh, Two healths. One is the physical health, and second one is the mental health. This evolution, this generation will have the biggest answers and the biggest challenges of health, be it physical and mental. Whatever profession industry you are, you have to take care of your health. And in a mental health state, it's nothing wrong if you are sad or depressed, or if you have something which you feel you don't want to remain there. But it's terribly wrong if you sit on it for a while. If you don't address it, you are absolutely in a danger situation. Because we are driving more towards an economical and, to also changes of the world, which is adapting very quickly. It's absolutely fast beating world. People are talking in seconds and minutes,
Right.
and impacts and business has to happen on fast level. So when when your body says, I'm not good, I can't make it, it's a signal that you need to slow down.
Right.
And if you get that from your body or from your mental health situation, you have to accept it. When you say, I have to slow down, what is that slowdown? That you have to find out through your habits and through your behaviors which you have created.
Absolutely.
But truly reflect on your health. That's the only thing I would say, because this industrial evolution, this evolution for the next 100 is all about being health,
True.
physically healthy and mentally healthy. If you are physically not healthy, it means obesity, it means health food, it means all the things which the doctors and other experts are claiming. If you don't do that enough, then definitely your body will complain as well.
Right.
And if your body starts to complain, your mental health will also start to
Right.
connect with it and say, you can't do it. So apart from your passion of your hobbies, your profession, your careers, health is for me the currency which I think is going to be the most impactful in this century. With that connected, trust is going to be a huge currency.
Huge.
How can you gain trust, and how can you give trust? How can you trust something or be yourself a trustable person?
Wow.
And it starts with your inner beliefs again, how you trust yourself. But once your inner beliefs is aligned and you start to shine and you start to do the work, create so much trust that people would love to work with you. People would love to spend time with you. People would love to be with you and do something great for you. And that generates such a confidence and such an impact on the society and the surroundings of your family, of your village, of your city, wherever you are. And that will guide you to the next level of whatever the universe has planned for you, right? So for me, the Gen Z advice would be take care of your health, be it mental or physical, and be someone whom you can trust yourself and trust on others. That creates an impactful journey of your next years.
Wow. These are all literal strikers of the day, because trust is something which we are all discounting. Any age for that matter. I truly respect, because I only put forward the tag as Gen Z, but you gave a very beautiful covering note. And this is something which I'm very happy about. So this brings us to the end of today's conversation on VidyaMitra Talk. If this episode gives you clarity or perspective, do like, share, and subscribe. And more important, please do let us know in the comments which section resonated with you the most. And we'll be always happy to come up with new versions, new updates. Please do give us feedback. That's the only way we can move forward. So thanks a lot, Dev, for taking your time. And it was lovely talking to you. All the best.